Hi folks, and welcome to DevTrends. Today we're going to talk about a tool that hosts your websites in URL, NPM participation in the development of ECMAScript standard, and recent virus in popular JavaScript package. So when we need to store and show data on the web, we usually use either full-blown solutions like hosting providers, or if it's enough to skip backend part and deploy only front-end, we can use services like GitHub Pages, Search, or Now. But there is another even simpler tool called itty. This tool is made by Elcor on GitHub and published as a free website, so everyone has an access to it. So, how it works? It compresses text or HTML. For example, let's add something. Attaches it to a URL and stores our page based on this generated URL query. So if we copy this URL and paste another tab, you can see, okay, never show again, you can see this content here. So this is like hosting itself, and with it, it's easy to share some snippets or even make basic bio pages. And now let's see how it works in practice on a more complicated example. So as I've already said, it can store either text or HTML, so let's make some basic HTML page with any editor. Let's use code for it. Let's create a file. Let it be index.html. Okay, here is it. So let's create here a basic layout. We don't need this layout, we just need the content in the body tag. Let's make a font bigger. Okay, close Explorer. Okay, so let's just write, for example, h1 and hello DevTrends. Hello DevTrends folks, let it be. And let's, for example, use some style, because with itty you can use style as well, because it's basic HTML. So let's, for example, make our body like HTML and body height 100%. Let's make our body a bit I think gray. We'll do maybe grayer, and let's, for example, make color yellow. Okay, and let's display flex, justify content center, align item center, everything is centered. Alright, so this is it. And for example, let's make an hashtag font family. Okay, let's let it be in body. Font family sans serif, or let's, for example, use sans serif. And h1 font size, let's make it font size 20 pixels. Okay, let's save it. And now we just remove our, okay, let's see how it looks in our index.html. Let's serve this directory with our index file. Let's go to localhost 5000. Okay, well, it looks nice. So now let's put this HTML in itty page. So let's remove body, here, and let's just make it one line. And for further optimizations, let's change, okay, let's remove all the spaces here. Okay, regexp, this replace with none. Okay, just without our text. Hello DevTrends folks. Here we go. So now let's copy this string we generated and move it to our itty side here. Okay, let's go to edit page and put it here. So, and let's call it DevTrends demo. So let's open this URL link in other tab, and you can see all the stuff are saved in URL string, so it's like a host in itself, as I've already said, and you can see our layout is here as well. So this is a very cool feature, and the most awesome part of it that you can store like any amount of data within the URL, especially when you use some services like Google Shortener, which shortens your URL. Let's just put this large URL into shorten URL and simplify it. So you can see now we got pretty tiny URL, and you can follow this URL and you can see your content on itty site. It's like awesome stuff, I think. So we all know NPM as our package manager of choice for JavaScript ecosystem. But there is quite another NPM called NPM Incorporated, and this is a company behind NPM itself. And this company has recently joined ECMA International to participate in TC39 working group that develops new features of JavaScript, or more precise, ECMAScript language. And that doesn't mean that NPM will be managed by the committee, but rather means NPM Incorporated will have greater control over the future of JavaScript. And to be honest, this feels a little bit uneasy because of the closed source nature of NPM itself. NPM Incorporated is a venture capital based company, and its repository is not open source. And we rely heavily on NPM, well, in fact, all the JavaScript infrastructure is built around it. So these facts are causing pretty much unrest in developer community, but hopefully everything will be just fine. Like we all know from the example of Facebook and its controversial patents file case, that developers can force even huge corporations to change their mind and reconsider their decisions. Another piece of news for today is related to NPM as well. Recently, a developer found a very suspicious behavior when installing JavaScript package called SLint-Scope, which is included in another much more popular packages, BabelSlint. Upon installing the package, the malicious script is downloaded from pastbin and then steals your NPM tokens via npm-rc file to publish more infected packages. And there is detailed status report from NPM about it, as well as post-mortem from SLint with all the details. Some say that about 1,000 NPM tokens have already been compromised. And it's not that much, but anyway, it's better for all of us to revoke them anyway via NPM account. So this issue again raises the question about security of NPM infrastructure. A lot of developers are concerned about the NPM as company itself, because NPM isn't really open source. NPM Incorporated is for-profit organization, their repository is closed source, and NPM packages are used by millions of production applications. So security is a must-have here. But NPM still lacks a true secure environment, and that's a really big problem. And by the way, author of Yarn Package Manager, which is popular alternative to NPM, has posted a thread on Twitter which sheds light on these situations from the kind of open source point of view. You can follow the link below to dive in the details. That's all for today, folks. All the links are in the description below. Thank you for watching and stay trendy!